Good morning, Jets fans. It's Mitch Kasprick, and welcome to our premiere edition of on our YouTube channel of Winnipeg Hockey Talk. With me, I have my granddaughter Harley Friesen, affectionately known as Bup. She's going to be my host, and basically, what we're going to do I'm not sure how many episodes we're going to do when we're going to do them, but I'm still going to stick with the random thoughts format. And what we'll do is, like I did with the podcast, is we'll just do a little more in-depth review of the random thoughts. Because if I had to type down every thought about my thoughts, I'd be writing forever. So it's easier to do it this way. And well, if you guys like it, you can comment on it, whatever, and I'll get back to you. But without further ado, here's my lovely granddaughter, Harley. And if you want to, ask her any questions, you can call her Bup. Actually, maybe one of the first things you might want to do is you want to know why she's called Bup, but we'll leave that for a later episode. Anyway, take it away, Bup.
Our first point of this week's article. Give our first point. The Winnipeg Jets look to be a solid regular season team again. Probably top 3 in the Central Division, but did they improve enough to push back harder and go on a deeper playoff run? I guess we'll see out in the next spring.
Yeah, that's. We gained Jonathan Taves, which to me was like a dream come true. The only thing is he's 36 and he hasn't played for 3 years, but he says he's good to go. Everybody who's seen him skate over at. What's the name of the sports place now? It's called
Hockey for All.
Yeah, in the Hockey for All Center. Said he looks pretty good. He said he feels pretty good and he has no reason to lie. So the way I look at it, he may be a little older on the calendar, but he was a hockey player that had a lot of miles on him. The Chicago teams, they won Stanley Cup, so he was playing hockey into June. But he was one of the guys, I guess a lot of people don't know. It looks like without ever telling us, I think it's pretty well been confirmed, in air quotes, but he was one of the guys that suffered from long COVID. And of course, it's something that's just happened in you, and it's something that we don't know a cure or whatever it is, so he had to go about it the hard way, and he seems to be better. He's happy to be here. So we've gained him. We've gained Tanner Pearson, who's a good workman-like player, but nothing flashy. We've gained Gustav Nyquist, affectionately known as Gus. So we have another Gus on the team. I wasn't a big fan of this, of this signing, as you would have previously read. I think he's only in his 30s, and he didn't have a very good year this past season. And he's not a great player. He's a useful workman-like player, but after I thought about it, he's just a placeholder for when Chiprikov or Lambert or some of the young kids are ready to step into the lineup. So I've relented on that, and he'll be a good addition. Because one thing about when you add veterans is they know how to play, and they've been through the grind, and they don't make rookie mistakes like our young kids are going to make. And this is a good veteran team with good leadership, so he should fit right in. I would hope to see some of the younger guys make a push like Solomonson, and I'm a big fan of Nikita Chiprikov. I think he makes this team this year. I don't think Brad Lambert does. I don't think he's ready. So we've lost Ehlers, which it was like a gut punch losing him. We replaced him with Taves and Pearson. Another thing with Pearson, I go back to those days when Mark Scheifele played with the Barrie Colts when Dale Howardchuk was the coach, and Tanner Pearson was Mark Scheifele's right winger. They played together in junior, so there's a bit of familiarity there, and I think we talk about it later on in my random thoughts. I just don't see Pearson being a frontline player anymore, so we'll see what happens. So over to you for number 2.
Awesome, yeah, number 2. Oh, here we have a pet peeve of yours. Paying NHL prices to watch glorified AHL rosters and NHL preseason games.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's a pet peeve of mine, but I don't go to the games. But I have friends that do. And, if you're one of those guys that, and it happens a lot, most people in Winnipeg are like this, there's very few people that actually outright own season tickets anymore. With the NHL prices being what they are, they're done in groups, right? So, guys will have a draft, and then you draft your tickets just like you draft fantasy drafts. And there's always some poor sucker that, not a poor sucker, but I believe they play 3 home preseason games. So that means that, in that ticket pool that you're drafting out of, they might make a rule that every guy has to draft 1 preseason game and go from there. But, I have friends that they said they're just tired of it. And, the NHL does have a rule that during the preseason games, you have to dress X amount of veterans. And same thing when they go on the road. Like when Edmonton comes there, they ain't bringing McDavid. Just like when we go there, we're not bringing Shifley. But we'll bring in our lower end guys that, our fourth liners, and that just they can say they get their, I'm not sure what the league stipulation is. It might be 8 players. So you might see 2 veteran defensemen and one of the goalies, and he might not dress. I mean, he'll dress, but he won't play. And then 5 or 6 forwards. So you're paying pretty good coin to watch basically nothing. It's a throwaway game, and I think my pet peeve, I've already had it maybe this year or maybe it's coming up, but there's no reason to play 6 exhibition games. There's just no reason. I think they should start the season earlier, play less exhibition games, and spread the season out like this year too.
Yeah.
They start October 7th, and they have an Olympic year. So the league is closed down for 2 weeks. So they got to scrunch all those games into a smaller schedule. And then you got these guys playing 3 games in 4 nights. And like last year's Jet schedule was brutal and playing like 7 games in 10 days. And, it's not good for the product, especially when they're on the road. Guys are traveling, going drinking. And you know what happens when they go to Vegas. The Knights give them carte blanche to go to any of the hotels they want, and they feed them and booze them up, and then they go the next night and get the crap kicked out of them because they're all lit up. But of course I joke, but that's not so funny because that's how it was in the old days. There are stories of when Las Vegas had minor league hockey. That's what they would do. But that's another story. We got lots of stories like that. But
what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's basically what it's supposed to be. But whatever. Anyway, let's move on. I'll just leave it at that.
Number 3, we have an update on the Jets injury. Adam Lowry is still training and working out on his own with JP Vigier. Yeah. It appears like he is still a couple weeks away from joining the team, but the captain could or should be ready for game action by late October, early November.
Yeah, he says he's still in seclusion. He hasn't even been cleared to work out with the team yet. So him and JP are on one of the separate rinks at the Hockey for All Center, and he's been working his butt off, and we kind of thought he was a little bit ahead of schedule, but it sounds like the timeline, from the way I understood it when he had his surgery in the spring, that they always said that he'd probably be ready late October, early November, and they seem to be on course for that. But he's looked awfully good, just skating on his own and doing his drills, and his hip looks to be fine. He's chomping at the bit because he thinks he's already ready to go. But, being the captain, being a veteran, the doctors are going to be extra careful with him. There's no need to rush him into the lineup. Like I say, we're a good veteran team, and although he'll be missed, he won't be missed, if you know what I mean. There's enough guys to carry the slack. It's not like he's a 50-goal scorer. He's basically a third-line shutdown center. The only thing I don't like is with Appleton gone, he's going to be breaking in a new right winger. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to be starting the season with Nino. And on the right side, we have no idea. It could be Chibs, could be Gus Nyquist, I don't know. But he needs some playing time with those guys in camp, of course, which he's not going to get. Now, in saying that, he's not cleared to go to practice with the main team yet, but he will before the season starts. I still think he'll get practice time with the team, but he's not going to see regular season game action until probably early November, and rightly so. There's no rush.
Yeah. After that Olympic break, then.
Olympic break is in, I want to say February.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
he'll be back
Yeah.
way before then. Okay. Moving on.
Number 4. There will be a new look at center ice for the Winnipeg Jets, and I'm not talking about their roster, but a new logo commemorating Jets 2.0's 15th season back in the peg.
Yeah, that's me trying to be funny again. There will be a new look at center ice, and everybody's going, "Oh, who are they getting?" No, I'm not getting anything. They got a really nice logo that they put in a couple weeks ago, and it's commemorating, the 15th anniversary of being back in the NHL. I could go all kinds of different ways on this one. I'm just going to be grateful we have NHL hockey back. But if I wanted to go sour, which I am known to do, I am a curmudgeon. That means what? 15 years of Kevin Chevel day off, and we've won 2 playoff series. Well, we won more than 2, but I mean our best year was 2018. We went to the conference final, and that's it. That's a lot. Okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to be happy that we're on 15 years. I'm going to leave it at that. We'll move on to number 5.
Number 5. Just because they were traded for each other, don't base your expectations of Braden Yeager on what Rutger McRowdy does in Pittsburgh. Yeager is a year younger and was drafted a year later, 2023, than McRowdy, 2023.
Yeah.
With both players being at different stages at their development.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, Jet fans are the worst. It's like in football when everybody loves the backup quarterback. In Winnipeg, we love the prospects even though they're not ready. And I'm going to use Brad Lambert as an example. He was so good in junior with Seattle. He put up big numbers. He was electric. He was a big contributor. But he played for the Moose last year. He had a whole year of pro football. And his numbers in pro hockey aren't good. So I don't know. I don't get how fans are they're just chomping. They want him on the Jets. Why? He wasn't even a good AHL player last year. Let these kids develop and stop rushing him.
Yeah.
No, if we were a crack team, and that's how it usually works for rookies. If you're a shitty team, you get rushed into the line. Well, there's no rush for us to rush anybody. I want to see Chibrikov play this year because I think he could be a solid contributor. He's got NHL size and strength now. Lambert's still, you know what Lambert is? He's a young Kyle Connor. And he would just get bounced around in the NHL right now. Plus, he's not very productive. So what are you going to do with a kid like that? You don't bring him up here to play on the 4th line. You bring him up here to play, top 2, like top 6 or whatever. And he ain't there. He's barely top 6 on the Moose. I mean, they use him like that. They have him, he's on the power play, he's on the top lines. Just let him cut his teeth down there. He'll be fine. And but getting back to the original question, I forget what it was Yeager. Now Yeager's not even close to a pro yet. He's a pro now, and he'll be playing for the Moose probably all season. Everybody was so jacked up for Rutger when he was here. He was such a fan favorite, and he screwed the pooch. What he did is he screwed himself because, I want to play in the NHL this year, and I'm not playing in the NHL. I want to get traded, and he went to Pittsburgh. Where the fuck would he do? Where'd he go? He was in the minors the whole year. So you little whiny baby ass. These young American kids, they think. They
There's
think
one for the swear jar.
Yeah, well, we don't have the official swear jar yet, but they think the world owes them a favor. Man, just you know what? Just shut up, take your rookie money, cut your teeth, and when you're ready to play, trust me,
good.
They won't. Yeah, they'll notice you.
Yeah.
You can't bully your way into the league.
No.
But too many of these young guys think they can do that. And here's the thing, McGroarty's going to play in Pittsburgh this year, and he's going to be a good player. He's going to be a fan favorite. He was already a fan favorite when he was in Winnipeg. He was so engaging with the fans, and I just really think he got crappy shit advice from his agent, and whatever, he's gone. We got Yeager. Yeager, like I said, is a year younger. They're at different stages of their development. Listen, Jet fans, you're not going to see Braden Yeager in a Jets uniform for probably 2 years. Maybe you hope, if there's injuries and he's putting up big numbers with the Moose, maybe they give him a call up, get a couple games and get your feet wet. But he's not going to be a regular on the Jets for a couple of years. And you know what, to be honest, there's no room for him. Where's he going to go? That's the problem with all these guys. You can have all the greatest young players you want, but if there's no room on the roster, what are you going to do? Now, of course, we always argue that when you see somebody in the minors is playing real well, and you go say, well, he's better than Appleton. Well, Appleton's gone, so there's a spot there. Chib's going to take that, I can guarantee you. But yeah, the young guys, they're not going to get gifted any positions, and especially not with this team being a cup contender. I mean, if we are a cup contender, I kind of think we're a borderline cup contender, but that's another conversation for another day. But Yeager does. He's not. So just let's chill on him. Let him. He's a really talented kid. He's going to be a very good offensive player. He'll probably be. I'd like to see him come in as when he does make the team, is maybe as a number 3 guy. Just not a lot of pressure, but let's get him in with a couple decent offensive wingers and let him go from there. But I think we can move on from that. I've already got. We have to, before we talk about a swear jar, we got to figure out what is the.
We've got to keep you in line here.
Yeah, I know. But what's the penalty going to be? Like a quarter or a buck or?
You don't have points.
A buck for Hellebuck.
A buck for Hellebuck, yeah. Or does it depend on the severity of the?
There's a swear scale.
Yeah, it's like you get a buck for the F word, and maybe if you say shit, you get a quarter.
Yeah.
Something. Okay. Well, we'll see. Yeah. Okay.
To be determined.
Yes. Now, I think we're on 6 now.
6.
Yeah.
The NHL has published a list of their top 16 goalie tandems, and the Winnipeg Jets, Connor Hellebuck, and Eric Comrie came in at the number 1 position on most of the voters' ballots. The consensus has Winnipeg, Dallas, NYR, Washington, and New Jersey as the top 5. I still don't understand the love affair with Igor and Jonathan and their 15th ranking from last season.
Well, that's Igor Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick, who play for NYR, which is affectionately known as the New York Rangers. They had the 15th ranking of save percentage as a duel, and yet they're always ranked top 5. The league, I guess, what it is, with so many of the big hockey magazines and the hockey writers that are based in New York, they add to the local prejudice because, to be honest with you, I mean, Igor hasn't been good for a few years. I think he won the Vezina a couple of years back, but I mean, he hasn't been great. But yet everybody loves him, so whatever. I mean, does it really mean anything in the grand scheme of things? Who cares? Hellebuck won the Hart, and he won, oh boy, I'm going to get in trouble for this. Hellebuck won the Hart and the Vezina last year, and he shit the bed in the playoffs. I don't know if it was a bad shit, but he wasn't very good in the St. Louis series. I mean, he got chased in 3 of the games. The games at home he played well, and he was pretty good in the Dallas series, but he wasn't a difference maker. Like, the guy that was the regular season Hellebuck, if he plays against Dallas, we win that series. And I'm not saying we lost that series because of him, but I believe we lost it in 7 games, or was it 6 games? Whatever it was, I think we lost it in 6. And who would have known that little fluky win in Game 1 by Dallas would be the series difference maker? But it was, and if the Jets never got MVP or Vezina style goaltending out of their number one guy in the playoffs. And like I say, regular season awards and hockey polls from the writers and all this season, or all this, don't mean anything for this season. And, you know, the thing that's funny about it is, you know what? We could sit here and Hellebuck would say the exact same thing. He'd say, he's a confident guy, and he might not say he didn't think he played well because he never wants to be negative, but deep down he knows that he wasn't the difference maker. He wants to be, and he would also acknowledge that regular season accolades are nice, but this guy is so driven. All he cares about, and he works his ass off for it. All he wants is a Stanley Cup in Winnipeg, and he wants it in Winnipeg. He doesn't want it anywhere else. So I know he's quite aware of what some of the thoughts might be about him, especially from crabby old men that are 69 years old and can't wait forever for a cup.
One day.
Yeah, well, I don't have a lot of days left.
This year. Okay, we have a poll question. I'm very curious to see which of the youngsters make a hard push for a roster spot. What are your thoughts? You may select a maximum of 3 players.
And on the list we have...
Nikita Chibrikov.
Yep.
Brad Lambert.
Yep. Elias
Salomonson.
Yep.
Braden Yeager, Colby Barlow, Thomas Milic, right.
I don't know why they don't put an
one.
H on it. These Czechs and these Slovaks, you know, Milic. If you want to be called Milic, put an H on it. Anyway.
And Danny Zilkin.
Or as Beyonce would say, put a ring on it. Anyway,
Yes.
And then I like Danny Zilkin. I thought he had a really good 2 games in Montreal at that Prospects tournament. He's a solid Moose player. He might be a guy that gets a call up every once in a while if there's injuries. See, here's the thing. The Jets were so damn healthy last year. Their AHL, a lot of the Moose players never really got call-ups, and especially defensemen. Milic, he played with Lambert in Seattle. All Milic does is win hockey games. I don't believe he was drafted by Seattle in the He wasn't in the WHL Bantam draft. He wasn't drafted in the NHL. All this guy does is win. He was outstanding for Canada in the juniors, and he's a guy I'm pulling for. He's one of those style goalies. Like, he's the old style goalie. Because he's not big. He's not Hellebuck big, but he's one of those guys that's an actual pure goaltender. He saves the puck based on reflexes and playing his angles and that. He's just not a big lump that stands there and hopes the puck will hit him. He's a guy I like. Salomonson, I think he's got to make it this year. We got to get Josh Morrissey. I mean, I'm not going to say he should play with Morrissey, but I'm done with Dylan DeMello on the top pair. I just too much, and it might be a lot to ask to put Elias Salomonson on the first pairing with Josh, but I'd like to see him crack the lineup. Brad Lambert's a little ways away. Chiprikov's going to play this year. Yeager is, like I said, a couple years away. And a guy I like is Colby Barlow. I'd like to see him get some few games with the big club this year too. He's an honest hockey player. He's a good CHL guy. He's tough. He's a leader. He's a leader of men. He's been a great leader. He was a captain in junior, and he brings a lot to the table too. Like, it's kind of funny is the Jets got a lot of good players lined up for the future, and a lot of these kids are be playing on the Moose this year. The Moose are going to have a young, exciting team. They might not be any good, but you get all these young guys playing. Like, let's say Chibrikov doesn't make the Jets. I think he does, but you'd have Chibrikov, Lambert, Salomonson. You got Yeager, you got Barlow, you got Milic. Milic might not even play with the Moose. That's how much goaltending they have, because they still got DiVincenzo, and they just signed that other kid. I can't remember his name. Played for the Edmonton junior team. And they got Jilkin. Those are just the guys I got on my prospect list. They have other guys too, other prospects too. They're going to have a young, exciting team. So, good for Moose fans, and it's they're a good. They're going to be a good alternative to go see on these cold Winnipeg winter nights. I just like so many of their players, but I'm a big Chibrikov guy. Have I mentioned that? Have I mentioned that at all that I like him?
Only once or twice.
Yeah, I like him. Anyway, let's carry on.
Number 8. I can't help but wonder what's in store for Winnipeg and other small market teams with the salary cap at almost $96 million this season and projected to rise for the next few seasons.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the salary cap, and I was explaining it to her because she's too young to understand when the old days when teams tried to buy championships and where the salary cap came from and the reasoning behind it. But you think about $95.5 million for a small market team like Winnipeg, and we're paying
Pretty big number.
Yeah, and we're paying that in U.S. dollars. And the Jets, basically, for the last few years, have been a cap team. They've spent right to the cap. Now, of course, it's based on our hockey-related revenue and the league's popularity and the money they're bringing in. And also, too, I don't feel bad because we probably have the richest owner in the NHL. That's a funny thing to say with David Thompson and Mark Chipman. They're one guy's a car dealer and the other guy's a newspaper mogul. I think Thompson, is one of the richest men in Canada, and I think he rivals even the richest guys, some of those U.S. markets. So the rules are the same for all of them. But if he wanted to, he could have went by the old rules and bought himself a championship. But we're all playing under a salary cap now, and it's scary. It scares me because it's going to be going up, and it's all based on hockey-related revenue. So what happens when it goes up? Ticket prices go up, and I don't know how often they can go to the well and ask Joe Fan. I hate that saying. I don't know why I said Joe Fan. Well, that's what it is, Joe Fan. To cough up, and it's even harder in a market like Winnipeg where you have a good team. And it took the Jets last year basically over half a season to start selling out every single night. There was apathy here, and the thing is, they're going to need to go on a run this year. They're going to have to go to the conference final or to the cup, and just keep building on how good they are, because it's going to, they ain't going to be good forever, but the thing is, what do you do in the down seasons when that's all of a sudden, people stop coming? I know losing gets old. Luckily, we've had a pretty good team, and we haven't been losing too much. But I'm afraid for all the Canadian teams, even Montreal. I mean, they draw 20,000 every night, no matter what. Hockey's a religion there, but at some point, you got to start knocking on the door, and you gotta build a winning culture, a winning tradition, and we're kind of starting it now. And I hope we don't have these like peaks and valleys. I hope we can sort of level it off and just be, where's my level? There it is. And just be a solid franchise to make the playoffs like Detroit did, like for 30 years straight, and give the fans something to cheer about, because Winnipeg loves their hockey, and they'll support a winner, but they will not support a loser, and not many Canadian teams will. So that's that.
Yes. Number 9. Elias. Why can't I get that right?
Well, because there is hockey players like Patrick Elias.
Yeah.
They would say Ash. They don't say Elias Solomonson. They say Elias.
Elias
Yeah.
Solomonson looked okay. Yeah. Elias Solomonson looked very good in both games in the Prospect Showdown in Montreal. I'm not sure if he makes the big club this season, but I would think he should see a couple of games in the NHL this year.
Yeah, you're going to have injuries and you're going to have call-ups. We had a pretty decent blue line last year. I'm not overly enthralled with our defensemen, to be honest with you. Outside of Josh and Sandberg, the rest of them, you can scramble them up and throw them out there. Dylan DeMello to me is a third pairing guy. Stanley's whatever. And you still got Billy Heinola out there, who's got to have the worst luck of any defenseman in the league. He's still there. There's the trouble for Solomonson is there's just no room. Chevy might have to start trading some of the roster guys, but he won't, because every NHL team, they don't mind that they have probably 8 guys that are capable of playing. The only problem for me with that is they have 8 guys that are capable of playing the NHL. They can only keep 6. And really, I only like two of them as real bona fide NHL players. Like I said, Josh and Sandberg. The other guys are all interchangeable, but Solomonson will be the Jets' third best defenseman by next year, if not sooner. There's going to be injuries. We will see him playing. He played. He's a right-hand shot too, which would fit in nice for the Jets. So I expect in the next couple years we're going to see more than less of him. Number 10 coming up.
From the put that in your pipe and smoke it file. In 2011 to 2012, the year the Jets returned to the NHL, the salary cap was $64,300,000, and this year the salary cap floor is $70,600,000. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Isn't that something? Eh? Really, if you think about 14 years ago when the Jets came in.
That's a huge rise.
Yeah, it's a huge rise. The floor right now is $6 million more than the top end cap. Like I said, that's what concerns me for these small market teams is where's this money come from? Well, we know where it's coming from. But yeah, that is definitely put that in your pipe and smoke it for sure. Moving on.
Number 11. I wonder where Tanner Pearson fits into this Jets lineup. He has a history of playing with Mark Scheifele on the Barrie Colts top line in junior, but I don't think that at this stage of his career he is top line material, although I'm sure Scott Arneal gives them a look. How'd I do on the names there?
Oh, you were good. It's just Barrie Colts.
Barrie Colts,
Barrie Colts. Yeah, it's like I say, if we were doing crib notes, we would just phonetically put it out there like Barrie, like with a Y. Mm-hmm. But what I did was, even though I said that I don't think he's top line material, I just did a hypothetical forward list, and I put Kyle Connor with Scheif and Pearson, just for the hell of it, just because I want to take Velarde off that line and put him with Taves and Perfetti. I love that second line. Perfetti, Taves, and Velarde. Oh man, I just get a Nikita Chubrikov thinking about that one. Anyway, then the third line could be Niederreiter, Nemesnikov, Chibrikov / Nyquist until Lowry comes back. How they work that out after is up to them. And then the fourth line's a no-brainer. It'd be one of the best fourth lines in the league with Alex Iafallo, Morgan Barron, and David Gustafsson. I kind of think Iafallo might be the guy that ends up going to the first line if they decide to drop Velarde down. Alex is one of those guys, like he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, like Matthew Pearl was. You can put him anywhere in any situation. I mean, he plays on the second unit power play. He's got good offensive instincts. He can kill penalties. He can play on the fourth line. He can play on the first line. He's one of those guys you wouldn't want to see him play on the top line like forever, but for 5 or 6 games in a need-be situation, he's fine. I like Alex Iafallo. He's a pretty well-rounded player, but this was my kind of like temporary full lineup until Lowry comes back, and just to see what it would look like. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool if Tanner Pearson played with Scheif and he caught lightning in a bottle? You know, and then the thing is, he has a right-handed shot, and he's an honest player. Like, he'll work hard and everything, and he's got a bit of a scoring touch, but you know, you take a guy like that and put him with 2 offensive players like Scheif and Connor, yeah, maybe he can light it up. And like I say, Perfetti, Taves, and Velarde, I get excited just thinking about that. But I don't want to, get too excited. So let's go on to number 12 before I start getting crazy.
Number 12. I'm a big fan of young goaltender Dominic DiVincentes.
I don't know how this is DiVincentes because it goes DiVincentes, Dominic DiVincentes. Anyway, yeah.
And he didn't disappoint in the Jets' 4-3 win over Montreal's top prospects this past weekend. Danny Zilkin was excellent in both games, and Habs future stud Ivan Demidov stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's like a man playing with boys. Demidov's he's going to be a good one for the Habs. But like I say, I like Danny Zilkin. He was good with the Moose last year. Like to see him get a few games with the Jets too, but then you go, there is the fans, the fans get too excited. I want to see this, I want to see that. But he might. DiVincenzo is going to be. I can see the look at this in about say 3 years. You got Dominic DiVincenzo and Thomas Milic as our goalies. Boy, that would make me happy. I like them both, and yeah, it's. I thought Dominic was in the Habs game, and they ended up winning it, and it was because of him. He was outstanding. Big saves, and Montreal had a lot of their real top prospects playing. They had a pretty stacked little team going there, and our guys held their own. And not to say that we didn't have a bunch of good guys. Some of our prospect pool is pretty solid and pretty good too. So they showed well in that 2-game tournament. Next night they beat the Ottawa prospects in overtime. So yeah, good for those boys. I mean, it's team building too. These guys play together. They get to know each other in the minors. A lot of these guys have played together in junior. A lot of these guys have played together in World Junior teams and that. And it's kind of like team building, and it's nice for them to go out there and get a couple wins and to start off their careers. Like some of these guys, it's the first time they've worn a Jets uniform, and it's the first games. Some of these guys have played in this prospect tournament before. Last year, they used to have the games with the Vancouver rookies and the Calgary rookies in Penticton, BC. This is the first year they went out east. So, and the teams in the east take it pretty seriously. There was 20,000 people in the forum, man.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and the next night when they played Ottawa, there was like, I don't know, 20 friends and family. But yeah, moving on. The next one here you can bypass this. Wonder if you can skim to it quick, I guess.
September 18th.
Most important one's October 1st. There you go.
September 18th, training camp begins on Thursday, September 18th, and continues to Friday, October 3rd at Hockey for All Center. September 20th, Jets Fan Fest on Saturday, September 20th, with an intra-squad scrimmage at 10:50 a.m. And the most important, October 1st.
It's my ex-random thoughts. Yeah.
October 9th, season opener, a home opener versus Dallas.
Yeah.
April 16th, that's the Olympic break we were talking about earlier. And then...
yeah, I got a link on here for the giveaway nights, for people that like to go, get yourself a bobblehead or a sweater or a hat or whatever. Yeah.
Right, 14. Earlier this month, a hockey legend, Ken Dryden, passed away at the age of 78 from cancer. Dryden was a Hall of Fame goalie and won the Stanley Cup 6 times, in the 1970s with the Montreal Canadiens, and was a big part of Team Canada in the 1972 Summit Series. Dryden was very accomplished after his playing career as well, later becoming an author, television analyst, hockey executive, and a member of Canada's Parliament.
I'd say that's
He's
pretty
done
well-rounded.
everything.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's funny about Ken Dryden? I'm going to go by memory here. I believe he went to Cornell University, and at that time, where like now, it's nothing to watch the NHL draft and see, 33%, if not more, 40% of the players coming out of U.S. colleges. Back in his day, he might have been the only one. There might have been 2 or 3 guys that came out of college. So he came out educated. I don't know if he fully completed it or what his story was. Did he, after his playing career, did he go off and finish it? Or what a lot of guys back in those days did is they would finish off their education during the summer. But, I mean, this guy was a member of Parliament. He actually ran for office. No, I'm not sure where he ran. It probably was in Montreal area where he'd be a no-brainer, right? He'd be so popular there. But yeah, he played in the monumental 72 Summit Series, and I don't know if you can see it or not. If in the future, when we have pictures like this, I'm going to have them on the screen so you can see them. But it's the iconic pose of him standing there, all 6'5" of him, and there wasn't many players in those days that were 6'5", and that iconic stance where he's got the stick under his chin like this, and yeah, he was, one time, now I'm looking back nostalgic, hated his guts, loved him when he played for Team Canada, but when you get older and nostalgic, you remember these guys a different way, and you got to give the guy his respect. He was truly a great man, and he will be missed. Number 15, the final one.
Things that make me go, all 5 of Hockey Canada players from the 2018 U20 team were acquitted of any legal wrongdoing over the summer and have been reinstated by the NHL. Michael McLeod, Carter Hart, Dylan Dube, Cal Foote, and Alex Formanton can sign NHL contracts starting on October 15th, but they'll have to continue serving a suspension until December 1st before dressing in a game. This makes no sense.
I don't get it. Anyway, you were pretty close on the pronunciations. It's Michael McLeod, Carter Hart, Dylan Dubé. Of course, he's French, so can't just call him a Dube. I hope these guys.
Although you wish you could.
Yeah, Cal Foote and Alex Formanton. Yes, you did. Okay. You had nailed 3 out of the 5.
All right.
Yeah, this thing just puzzles me. I mean, everybody has their view on this. What actually happened that night or day, I don't know. I don't think it's uncommon at all in sports. I know women and I don't like, here's my thing. I always like to defend hockey, but they say, well, that's the hockey culture. Fuck that, that's the hockey culture. It's not the hockey culture. You know what it is? It's the man culture, boys. You don't think that the NBA players have, we call, in hockey, they're called puck bunnies, right? This girl was obviously a puck bunny. She got herself into a situation she shouldn't have been in. Young men are, well, let's face it, all men are horny. I don't know what happened there. I don't think she cried wolf. There's got to be, like, where there's smoke, there's fire, but they settled on something. And I want to say this, that I don't know, to be honest with you, I didn't pay a lot of attention to the case. I knew eventually the truth would come out or something's going to come out of it. I don't know how old she was. These kids here would all be 19 years old, so they're, well, depending on what state or province you're from, they were all adults, and I think the woman was an adult too. So I don't know that she cried wolf. That would be unfair, but they obviously didn't find enough in the eyes of the law to do anything.
Eyes of the law, yes.
Yeah, there might be something there. Was there a buyout or a compensation or one of those things? I don't know. If that's the case, I guess I look at this and I say you're either innocent or you're guilty. You can't be both, and it looks like this decision is kind of calling them both. The court of law says they were innocent, but yet the NHL says, well, you can start signing a contract October 15th, but you got to serve a suspension until December 1st, based on what?
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
What are they trying to say here?
Yeah, I don't know. And you know what? I got to defend. That would be a pet peeve. And I think I have already used it last year. Well, I'll use it again. What the hell? I hate when they say that's the hockey culture. I mean, I physically know firsthand, and I'm talking firsthand, and I'm talking like, I went to a soccer game in Dallas when I was a kid. When I played. And when I say I was a kid, I was probably 19. But I was in a soccer tournament in Dallas, and at that time it was the North American Soccer League, and it was the Dallas, whatever they were called. And after the game, they called what they had post-game discos. And they would tell the fans, whatever, if they wanted to go, you could go and join them. And all the players would be there. There'd be all kinds of good-looking women there. And keep in mind, this is the North American Soccer League. It wasn't like it was NHL hockey or pro baseball or pro football. Yeah, they made decent money, but wherever you got athletes, you got women. So we met some women there. We met this one gal, and her name was what the hell was it, Tammy or something or whatever. And she was bragging and telling us about all the Major League Baseball players that she had slept with, And, we like I say, when hockey, we call them puck bunnies. I don't know what they call them in baseball. But she mentioned a few names, George Brett, and whatever. So, it wasn't like it was a big surprise. We know that's been going on. And I know it's the same thing with, you trying to tell me, see, it's a little bit different in baseball, though, for me, because, well, no, it's not, actually, because the single guys and married guys, whatever, they go on these road trips. So when they go into, we'll say, Texas, that's where they were in Arlington, they're there for 3 nights. It's not like you're in hockey where a lot of times hockey team is out on the bus and on a plane that same night out of town. especially in baseball, probably really prevalent because you, like I said, you're there for 3 nights. You go on a 3-night, and and over time, these guys they get to know the girls get to know them. It becomes a regular thing, and it's kind of like no harm, no foul for the most part. Say what you want about it. NBA, same thing. These NBA players, I mean, it's just ridiculous. These guys make so much money and they're so rich. And there's girls in the lobby just hanging all over them. I mean, come on, dude. So, I mean, let's just say for all men out there, and it's in every sports league, even as little as the gold eyes, and guys are making $500 a week. For some reason, women are attracted to these guys. I said we're at a golf tournament where I was working at my golf course, and there was these broads that were trying to cling on to some of the baseball players, and I said to the one girl, because I knew her, and I said, "You realize that you probably make more than this guy?" And she kind of laughed, and I goes, "I can see the young girls, the puck bunnies. I mean, if they're young and the players are young and they're age appropriate, I can see why they hang around them. Yeah. If you can land yourself a hockey player and you're looking at a pretty cushy life, and in the NBA, if you can land yourself one of those guys, oh my God, you're set for life. And same thing in football. There's all kinds of money in sports. There's all kinds of women in sports. For the men, I know you don't want to hear this, it's a freaking smorgasbord of women out there for them, for the taking. So don't just pin it on hockey and call it the hockey culture, or I'll punch you in the face. It's not hockey culture. And there's guys that like saying that, even in this city, and it pisses me off. It's the hockey culture. It's not the hockey culture, to be honest with you. I mean, it's the man culture. We're pigs. On that, I'll leave it at that.
And I agree with you.
Yeah, there you go.
That's one thing I do know about in this article.
Yes.
All right.
She's not just a feminist. She's my granddaughter. But anyway,
awesome.
when we get this thing going full bore, I mean, it's like you guys have heard the same spiel from every other YouTuber out there. Like the channel, follow us. We'll give you you'll get a little ding ding when we're gonna go live. I still haven't decided how committed I am to this. I want to get all the tech. This is just a test one. I want to get all the tech worked out. I don't know if we're going to go bi-monthly like I've been doing the articles. Maybe I do the articles weekly and do like a video pod like this bi-monthly, or maybe I do them weekly. I don't know. But I mean, I look at this one. This was usually my random thoughts during the season. There are 20 points, and of those 20 points, 3 of them are static. It's like goaltender stats and power play and penalty killing stats. But even this one here, just with 15, we're hitting close to 50 minutes, which is a perfect length. I never, even when me and Daryl, love my Daryl, I miss him so much, do our podcast, we'd always keep it at 50 minutes to an hour, because some of my not, I wouldn't call them competitors, because I know most of these guys, but some of my peers that are in the podcast business, they ramble on for 3 hours, and there is no fucking way I'm doing that, and there's nobody that wants to listen to that unless you have no life and you're bored. And so I'm thinking 45 minutes to an hour is just about right, and we pulled 48 here, and who thought it would be that long? I did this one as a test, just on my own, without taking a breath. It's nice to have a co-host, and when I did it, it was 17 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So this
It's
is 40,
like almost double.
triple.
Yeah.
So this worked out good. So thanks for joining us, and maybe I will throw this up on YouTube. You never know, but whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks, Bub, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, it's awesome.
This is awesome. This is fun.
It was fun, and this is just a tester. It was pretty good, I thought.
We're gonna be pros by then.
Yes. Anyway, this is where the close.
We're the rookies right now.
Yeah. This is
Start somewhere.
That's true. This is where the closing music would come in, and we. Good night.